if you're going to really, really be real, and I'm finding this, if you're going to really, really be healthy, and you're going to really become better on the other side of loss and grief and tragedy, then you are going to have to make some choices. And one of the choices has to be to get your fight back.
She is a mother, speaker, writer, and advocate for the rights and well-being of women and girls.
After LaSandra unexpectedly became a widow after 13 years of marriage to her best friend, she began documenting about her experience of grace and grief.
You realize it was just a dream, and you're waking up to the nightmare because the reality is a nightmare.
Defining moment is a significant point or experience in your life that sparks a change.
For my husband to just be gone in an instant. Yeah, God can count me out on the next round. You know, I told her that. I said, if God, whatever he's going to do with me, he's going to have to bless me like Jehoshaphat, where they just stood still.
And believe God to bring them back, and that didn't happen, but I had a strange peace.
Thank you.
I had a strange peace that I couldn't understand, and
I am a daughter. I am the righteousness of God in Christ.
the devil tells me, no, everything good that was going to happen to you has already happened. But I just tell him the word, and I tell him, you're going to be so mad when God gets done.
So traditionally, when we come into a new year, we have a lot of momentum. Traditionally, we start making goals, we start making plans, we start making to-do lists, we start trying to create new habits. People feel a great sense of encouragement, a great sense of motivation toward a new vision. We make vision boards, we write the vision and we make it plain. We start going to the gym, we start working out, we create a new look for ourselves. Usually when we come into a new year, we kick the door down into the new year and we feel like, okay, we're off. This is my year. And I traditionally love the beginning of a new year. Historically, I have taken January as a time to focus on my finances, to focus on my health, to just create a new version of myself, a better version of myself. Nevertheless, last year in 2018, my husband had passed away 3 months prior to that. And so I was 3 months into widowhood. And to be perfectly honest with you, to keep it 100, I was not enthusiastic about a new year. I did not feel like I had the bandwidth, the wherewithal, the encouragement, the strength, the mind to go hard and create some new life for myself and my children. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was doing the best I could. I was giving it something, but I was really working hard at trying to steady conjure up just the will, the strength to continue to even function at a baseline, let alone reach these high expectations for my life. And the reason for that, and I assume that if you're on this channel, Grace and Grief, and you've clicked on this video, then you can identify with this. The reality was that I had already spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, blood, sweat, tears, prayer, been committed to building the life that I wanted with my husband. And so for him to pass away suddenly, it felt as though I'm going into a new year and everyone is running toward their goals and everyone is running toward their dreams. But I felt like my dream exploded in the street and was ran over by a Mack truck. So I'm good. I'm good. I don't have nothing else. I don't have anything else. And that, I mean, I wrestled with that a lot. And I told my friends that often. And I often try to tell my mom that, tell my aunt that, tell my friends, I told everybody that. I was just like, you know what, guys, keep praying for me because, you know, I'm not who I used to be. And I think the reality is that grief, loss, tragedy, it changes us. And it's up to us whether or not it changes us for the good or it changes us for the bad. But it's going to change you. And you're going to have to, if you're going to really, really be real, and I'm finding this, if you're going to really, really be healthy, you're going to really become better on the other side of loss and grief and tragedy, then you are going to have to make some choices. And one of the choices has to be to get your fight back. So if you want to learn more about that, stay with me. So how do you get your fight back? If you perceive that what you have worked on has literally just been wiped out from up under you in some way, shape, or form, where do you go from there? The reality is that even this channel is called Grace and Grief. Of course, I'm talking about grief, but I'm also talking about rebuilding my life after grief or in the midst of grief. I'm talking about rebuilding my life after great loss. And we experience loss in the loss of a loved one, like which is my experience, but people experience loss in job loss, loss of health, loss of opportunity, loss of time. People experience loss and grief when they go through regret and make mistakes and fail, or, you know, get involved in a relationship and then the relationship ends and you feel as though you've lost your time and you've lost your energy and what you've invested in hasn't come of anything. Then how do you step into a new season with any kind of momentum or energy? And so I'm going to tell you the main thing that I can tell you that I've learned in this past year, or this past year in 3 months, has been that no matter how low you feel, no matter how weak you feel, no matter how defeated you may feel, no matter how alone you may feel, you have to give something. You got to give something. And it may take every ounce of strength in your body just to answer a phone call right now, or to get up and go for a walk, or to put a bill on auto pay, or to get your hair done, or to show up for work, or to do your report, or to do a presentation, or whatever it is, or to create something that's on your heart. It may take every bit of ounce of strength that you have to do it. And you may partially feel very indifferent and ambivalent about it. But if you just give the little that you got, it will multiply. That is what I've learned. And so I want to just remind you guys, I don't know if everyone that's watching this knows about the parable of the talents, but there is a story in the Bible that talks about how a businessman came. He had 3 servants. He gave one servant 1 talent, one servant he gave 2, and the other one he gave 5. And the Bible says he gave them their talent according to their ability, according to what he thought that they could do. And the one that had 5 multiplied it, made 10. The one that had 2 multiplied it, made 4. But the one that had 1 hid his talent because he was afraid. The man came back in town, and he rewarded the one that had multiplied from the 5. He rewarded the one that multiplied from the 2, but the one that had hid his talent out of fear was punished. There is a principle in that. You may go doubtful. You may be functioning at level 1. You may be functioning at level 3. You may be functioning at level 5. You may just barely have just a little bit to give. You may have only a little bit left in you, a little bit of fight, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of perspective, a little bit of vision, a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith. Whatever you have, if it's just a little bit, use it, give it, throw it in there. And when you do, you will get a little more back. And so what I found was every day was hard. Every single day was hard. Every single day, especially the first, I want to say 9 months to almost a year. I cried every single day at some point. Every day was hard, but every day that I gave something, every small step of faith, starting the YouTube channel, writing, speaking, because those are the things that I know God's called me to do. And so I was just like, you know what, my husband passed away, but I'm going to do them anyway. And every time I would give a little bit, another door would open. Every action causes a reaction. So when I would just give a little bit, if I just threw a little bit of what I had out there, somehow the Lord would give me something back to work with and give me something more to work with. I would create more motivation and more fight in me to give a little more the next time. And then God would give me a little bit back. When I say God would give me something back, I mean He would give me an opportunity, or He would cause my little work or my little effort to prosper in a big way. And what I gave that was low effort, He would turn it into high impact. And He kept doing this over and over and over again until I just continued to build up a momentum. And so that is one way. That is, I want to say, the key way that if you are starting from scratch, you feel like, look, I am at ground zero and I'm trying to rebuild and I don't hardly have anything to work with. I am at halfway, I don't care, and halfway at, Lord, I'm looking at you sideways. To be honest, if you are there, take it from me. Take it from the Bible. All you got is that one talent. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Don't hide it because you're afraid it's not going to work out. Don't hide it because you feel like, well, what's the point? I built a whole life with this person and they passed away. Or I built a whole business and it fell apart. Or I sold in this whole relationship and nothing came of it. Whatever you've lost, do not base your future on the past. Just give it, whatever it is. Your ladder, and I kept saying this too, I believed that my ladder would be greater than my past. What has happened is no indication of what's going to happen. Just because that happened, that does not forfeit your future. Not in any way, shape, or form. If anything, you going through this process of loss it basically builds a potential in you to be even stronger than you were before. So give whatever you have. Sow it, use it. If you have a skill, use it. If you have something you have that can bless someone, give it. If you have an idea, step out on it. If there's something that needs to be done, you have responsibilities to take care of, you can't take care of them all, take care of one of them, take care of 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. Just whatever it is, don't stop moving forward. The more you use what you have, the more you're going to have to use. That is my testimony. If this has blessed you in any way, like the video, share the video, subscribe to this channel, leave me a comment. I want to hear your comments. I'm very curious to see who is watching these videos and how you're impacted. Because I feel like God is leading me to create more videos, and I want to engage with you guys. So that's why we're here, to build community. I'm still in the process of building my fight back. I'm still in the process of getting my fight back. But I have come a long way from where I was last year. And that's how you do it. You keep putting yourself out there. You get up off the floor, get up out the bed, and say, you know what, I can't do it all like I used to do it. I don't have all that I had to work with, but here's what I have. And give it. Sow it. Show up. Put it out there. Whatever it is, and it will multiply. So I pray that this blesses someone. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.